Destiny, you're a subcontractor for a streaming site owned by Amazon. You're the last person who would feel any effects from net neutrality. Are you actually being honest right now? Because I'm pretty sure streamers would be at the forefront of that. When people are concerned about net neutrality, and you're talking about preferential bandwidth given to companies for streaming-related media, some of the most popular media to give people platforms to. If you're licensing content for videos or Netflix or competing platforms with Netflix, I imagine you're probably looking at other forms of streaming content as being competitors to what you would be licensing. So if you own a platform that can distribute video content to some extent, and that platform has preferential treatment with an ISP or is owned by an ISP, then sites like Twitch would be targeted. I'm pretty sure Twitch has actually in the past tried to negotiate better routing and peering and whatnot with different ISPs in the past. It's actually like an amazingly ignorant statement. I can't believe you would actually type that without a hint of irony in my chat room. Nice job, dude. I think he's arguing that Amazon could afford to pay whatever needs to be paid. Well, but that's the thing, is that they wouldn't give a fuck that Amazon could pay. They wouldn't take the payment. They would rather push their own video streaming service, especially with Amazon having like Amazon Prime and shit. Like Comcast has their own video streaming shit. They don't want Amazon Prime getting preferential, or Prime Video or whatever the fuck they have getting like preferential bandwidth or any bandwidth, right? So they would throttle that and push their own service. But Amazon would effectively either pursue legal action or would pay. Well, that's the thing. That's the point of net neutrality, is there would be no legal action. That it would be legal. Do you even know what net neutrality is? Okay, I guess this is net neutrality day. Let me explain this. Okay, so here's the problem. So net neutrality is the idea when people say, because liberals, I guess, I don't know, people use a lot of dumb buzzwords. Net neutrality is supposed to mean open internet for everybody. Okay, open internet, equal access to all sites. What that means is that if a site exists on the internet somewhere, that you should be able to access it regardless of what type of site it is, and there shouldn't be preferential bandwidth given to certain sites, right? So maybe you're thinking, well, what's wrong if there's a little bit of a quicker access to some sites and not others, Destiny? I don't understand. Is that really that big of a problem? So let me give you an example. Let's say that you really enjoy watching Netflix, and let's say that you really enjoy watching Amazon Prime Video, right? Let's say that these are two services that you partake in. Now, let's say that you pay for 50 down, 50 up every month from your ISP, and you have plenty of bandwidth to enjoy these services. Now, let's say that your internet service provider begins to offer their own online streaming content, right? Well, okay, that's cool that they have it, but you're not really interested in that online streaming content. Well, now let's say that we don't have things like net neutrality. We don't have these rules in place. And what the ISP says is, hey, we're not going to allow you to access this content on the same type of bandwidth that you can access our content from. We're going to effectively throttle your connection to these sites so that it's really hard to watch high-quality content. But if you want to watch really high-quality video, you can still watch it using our service. Well, now people are going to start to migrate to those services, not because the competition is better, but because the ISP has artificially limited your access to the other types of content, right? Net neutrality is effectively trying to prevent internet service providers from artificially throttling your bandwidth to competitor services. Okay, whew. We got it? Then Amazon will get into providing internet service, and we'll all live happily ever after. Except providing internet service sucks, and it's a lot harder than most people think, even though people give the ISP shit for it. Google learned this the hard way. Google had this dream of rolling out internet everywhere, and they ended up scaling back on their planned rollouts because even Google admitted that managing an ISP is more work than they thought it would be. Can you give the reason why the ISP shouldn't be allowed to do this? Sure. So in a perfect free market, artificial restrictions to goods should be solved by competitors moving in. But the problem is you have the problem is that you have a type of market failure here, and that you have a very, very, very high barrier to entry. So let me give you an example. Let's say that there's a product that you enjoy consuming, and this product costs somebody $5 to manufacture. Let's say that they have a $5 margin. They sell this product to you for $10, right? Okay, cool. $5 product, $10 to sell, and that's, wow, awesome. Now, let's say that to manufacture this product, you have to make a really large initial capital investment in some sort of manufacturing plan, right? Well, let's say that this person takes this $5 product, and now they want to sell it to you for $500. And you're like, well, that's bullshit. Well, capitalism will fix this. Somebody will move in and compete. Well, let's say that it's not really possible to move in and compete without selling a product initially for $1,000 because the initial capital investment is so high that it doesn't really make sense to open plants just to make a product to compete with these guys. And also, as soon as you'd start to do it, they would just price you out anyway. This is essentially the problems that you face with ISPs. ISPs already own all the infrastructure. They own all the dark fiber, all of the coax and everything that's laid to all of these neighborhoods. If the ISPs are fucking you in ways that aren't quote unquote fair, it's a competitor can't really step in to fix this sort of market exploit because the initial capital investment for all of the infrastructure is so absurdly high that it's never really going to happen, right? So you have like a type of market failure. I'm very much pro-capitalism and pretty pro-libertarian. I really love free markets and all of that, but I don't think a free market can adequately address something that requires such a huge initial capital investment in infrastructure to be competitive. Oof. There we go, right?